You're listening to Bizarre Buffet, a podcast of all-you-can-eat weird. I'm your host, Mark Torriello.
I'm Jen Wilson.
And I'm Mark Bluestein.
There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited.
When we first went in, one of the people said, "Who are you?" And Tex said, "I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business."
Hey guys. Hi.
Hello.
How is everybody doing?
We're back.
Hope you're doing good.
We hope you're doing so good. But you know something? Before we start this episode, we just wanted to give you a small message. We just want to let you know about an amazing podcast that we've been listening to called Live, Laugh, Murder. It's so fucking good. We think that our audience, our friends, our loved ones would truly enjoy it. So we're just going to play a quick little clip for you right now. And here it is.
What do you get when you mix someone who loves true crime and horror movies with someone who's afraid of their own shadow?
Someone like you?
Yeah.
I'm glad you asked.
You get the perfect podcast.
We're Carmen and Joanna of Live, Laugh, Murder podcast. We're not your typical true crime show. Here at Live, Laugh, Murder, we tell stories that might be true crime or they might be the plot of a horror film. Can you tell the difference? Don't worry though, because all is revealed by the end. We are true crime sometimes.
So check us out. We release bi-weekly on Saturdays.
And remember to live, laugh, but never what, Joanna?
Murder.
Never murder. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
All right, so definitely check out Live, Laugh, Murder podcast.
You will not be disappointed.
You
Be
won't.
disappointed.
You
And
won't be.
If you have a Live, Laugh, Love sign in your house, get rid of it.
Get rid of it.
You don't need that shit.
This is bullshit.
No.
Out with the old, in with the new.
Exactly.
So now let's move on to other pressing business. What are we doing here today?
All right. So before I jump into my story, I need to give credit where credit is due. And this story tonight is thanks to Jerry.
Jerry!
Yes.
Jojo! Hey, Jerry!
So, one of his late insomnia nights, he couldn't sleep. He found this show on Tubi. And
Fucking
then
Tubi,
the
bitch.
next day, he literally woke me up and was like, we need to watch this because this is a Bizarre Buffet topic.
Oh, I love that so much.
So, thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
I don't think any of you will be disappointed with this one.
Oh, I can't wait.
So,
Thank you, Tubi.
Tubi,
and
yeah.
thank you, Tubi.
Shout out to @Tubi. Yeah.
Shout out to fucking Tubi.
Yeah.
There's some really good content on that
There
platform.
is. Oh,
Tubi
boy.
is lit.
Lit.
So, tonight I am taking us back to a time and place that I don't think any of us ever want to go back to.
Oh, boy.
And it is the height of the COVID pandemic.
Oh, shit. Oh.
Like, I'm
What a
talking
weird
about
time.
exactly, but I'm talking about like the beginning. So like full lockdown, you're not allowed to go anywhere, you're not allowed to see anyone, you have to stay home. So my question tonight to get us started is I want to know what was worth breaking COVID protocols for during lockdown? So like, was there somewhere you wanted to go or someone you wanted to see or something you just really needed? Like, what was worth breaking lockdown protocols for?
Well, I think for me, it would have been probably like seeing you.
Right.
Our other friends who we were used to seeing like regularly.
But remember, we did like our Friday night Zooms and we played
We did,
Jackbox, remember?
which made it a lot easier and a lot better.
We did that for like months.
We
fun.
did. It was so much fun. Honestly, unpopular opinion, but I lived my best fucking life during that. I mean, Mark, Jen, and I produced this, but also pre this, we produced a film called Ask Carol Ann, America's Haunted Sweetheart.
We did, didn't we?
We did.
I totally forgot about that.
Yes, you need to check it out. It was really something that like we all collectively came together and did. And like, I was like, hey, Jen, you're an actor. Like, please just send me some footage of you, like just talking about like this fictional character who was essentially Mark Torriello.
That's Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Yes, from the Poltergeist franchise.
Trilogy.
Trilogy, 1, 2, and 3.
So
And it was really magical. Like, it was a really, really special time and very dear to me.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I became closer to you during that time.
Yes.
Totally.
And I had known Jen for fucking a million years prior, but I feel like that was the point that like we actually became like very close.
Yeah.
And all of us combined,
of
like
us.
Mark, Jen, and myself, even though I had known Jen for a long time. But like, I think we all became like really good friends during that. So like, there's so many valuable, like beautiful moments.
There were some really good things that came out of that moment.
There were. So like for me, I guess it just would have been like being able to see you in person.
Yeah.
Like our other friends like Ashley, Second Life episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Second Life
Insert episode art here. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Enjoy if you must, if you will.
I mean, I wanted the world to actually end during the pandemic. So
Yeah, he did.
I did. Mark and I, you know,
You also were not in a good place with work.
no,
Yeah,
because
that's true.
You had some stuff going on.
Yeah, this lousy company called Michael Kors. They did some very unethical things to their employees.
There we go again.
Yeah, like, you know, demoting people, pay cuts, and making them do 10 people's jobs for half of what
you
they
had
do.
you had it really rough.
Yeah,
I
and then
remember.
when you vocalize your opinion, you're, you know, in trouble. So don't give Michael Kors your business. He's terrible. But anyways, I was very happy because I think the world is a terrible place and needed some disruption.
Yeah.
Because disruption brings change.
Yeah,
and,
it does.
You know, I was burnt the fuck out before all of this, and it was nice to have time with Mark and our dog, and for us to do creative things.
Yeah.
Just decompress.
And just not care what happens. 'Cause
Yeah.
we didn't really know, like, were we going to die?
No, we went to
we gonna be
Guitar Center
homeless?
and bought this podcasting equipment that if
Yeah.
you're watching on YouTube, you can see us using right now.
Yeah. So, I
Wait, Guitar Center is still a thing? It's still around?
I think
that's-
so.
that's where we got all this
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if like 3 years later it still is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like weird because like COVID brought a lot of bad, and unfortunately many people died.
Yes.
But there's also some, I think more bad came out of COVID than good, but some good came out of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I don't think there was anything worth breaking the protocols for. Like, I lived by myself. I was in this small ass attic apartment, like a studio apartment in somebody's attic. I was all alone. I was scared as shit of the pandemic. Like, mentally, I was not in a good place. So, like, I was not leaving the house for shit.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Maybe to go to the grocery store down the street, but that was it.
Yeah, I think we were all scared though in that sense too. I think, you know, it just depends on like your memory recall of it. Like for me, I definitely was scared too, so I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely had some like strict policies and procedures, but it wasn't as bad as England was, which is where our story takes place tonight.
Oh.
They had multiple lockdowns through the entire pandemic, and there were some parts of the country that couldn't even leave their homes, period, except for essential workers.
Okay. Wow.
Which, like, same here, but like I feel like it was a little bit more like
We were a little more lax.
about it. There was also a time in part of England and other parts of Europe where you were only allowed outdoors for like an hour or two a day.
Wow.
And I remember Christmas 2020, houses over there were not allowed to commingle. So like imagine living by yourself and not being able to see your friends or family for the holidays. But then again, like maybe if us Americans did exactly what we were supposed to do, like them, like we wouldn't be where we are now. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah.
Our story starts with Phoenix Nets. She was a promising student. She had aspirations of becoming a paramedic. She was 28 years old and she lived in South London. She eventually dropped out of university and moved to Birmingham after falling on hard times, which I'm doing in air quotes because drugs became a priority for her.
Oh boy.
Okay. So she met Garecca Gordon in an HMO that she was staying at. Now, an HMO stands for House in Multiple Occupation.
Okay.
So 3 or more people from more than one household live in an HMO where all the common areas are shared.
Okay.
So they have specific landlords and rules in effect, which I'm not going to get into. They normally work with homeless people and people transitioning into other living situations. So like when I lived in London years ago, they really take care of their homeless people over there. Like it's very, like you didn't really see, I mean, this was also like 10 plus years ago. Things might have changed. I haven't been there since like 2016, but like, you don't really see homeless people on the streets. They do take care of their people over there.
They have a better system in place than we do.
They definitely do.
Yeah.
And the documentary about this that I watched referred to this as a hostel instead, but honestly, I think that's just a way to dumb it down for us Americans.
Okay. Yeah. Layman's terms.
Exactly. It's like a hostel is essentially like a hotel that like you share a bedroom with strangers.
Yeah, it's like having multiple bunk beds for a really cheap rate.
So Garecca Gordon immigrated to the UK when she was young from Jamaica and was staying in the room next door to Phoenix.
Okay.
She was also 28. And what happened next between the two is a bit unclear. But in May 2020, police stopped a man and woman who were driving erratically near the town of Colford. Police discovered 2 suitcases with dismembered body parts in a nearby pit from where the party was stopped.
Oh boy.
Forensic tests show that the dismembered body was in fact Phoenix Net's.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit.
So,
Oh boy.
Garecca Gordon was caught on CCTV, which is the surveillance system in the UK. It's like essentially like Big Brother's watching you.
Okay.
They're all over the place. They're on the streets, they're on public transportation, they're in buildings, and there's over 500,000 cameras in the UK.
Holy shit.
So like you can't get away with shit over there.
Wow.
And if you watch any like true crime shows that take place in the UK, like the majority of these people get caught on CCTV. So, what happened next? Okay. We don't entirely know, and this story is currently ongoing. And this is why I'm hoping we at Bizarre Buffet can work to crack the case.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
There
yes.
are just some parts of this story that don't add up, and that's why I find it very fascinating.
Okay.
Phoenix confided in a friend that Garecca was trying to make sexual advances and became aggressive when she declined.
Garecca, chill.
Garecca, calm down.
Garecca's...
I know, she's...
Yeah, she's a little much. A bit much.
Chill, Garecca.
So in a text message on April 7th, 2020, she wrote to the same friend in a text message, "There's a girl here who keeps asking me to be sexual. I think I'm moving back to London. It's scaring me, LOL."
Oh,
Lol. Oh boy.
okay.
That's problematic.
On April 16th, 2020, Garecca made a phone call to an emotional support hotline
Oh boy.
in which she seemed to be tipsy and allegedly stated that she liked another woman and wanted to have sex with her.
Oh,
Okay.
Garecca.
Oh boy.
The last known contact that Phoenix had with a friend was on the same day Garecca made that phone call. So on April 16th, 2020. It was to a friend who tried calling her back later, but the call did not go through.
Oh shit.
But Phoenix's cell phone was allegedly used to make internet searches, which included how to fix a punctured lung.
Oh my god.
Internal bleeding.
Oh boy.
And can someone recover from getting stabbed on the same exact day?
Oh my god.
I love a good Google search.
I mean.
But like you're doing it on like the person that you murdered's phone.
Oh
That's stupid.
god. That is really
She's
fucked.
sloppy.
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 Sloppy gherkins.
So
Garecca.
someone else who lived in the house with them on the same day heard drilling and banging noises and someone shouting, "Help me, help me."
Oh boy.
So
That is not good.
Phoenix was stabbed 4 times by Garecca. It was reported that Garecca ordered a circular saw on Gumtree, which is the equivalent to Craigslist.
Oh,
Okay.
stop.
Yeah, it's called Gumtree.
Oh, what a...
So it's like the UK version of Craigslist.
Oh, God, that is not good news.
And it arrived the following day at 11 a.m. So the saw was used to dismember Phoenix, and the saw was found in Garecca's bedroom. The dismemberment took place in 5 different locations, dividing the body into 6 different parts.
Oh.
Why? I just wonder why 5 different locations to dismember somebody. I would just do it in a bathtub.
Yeah.
Or shower or something.
Yeah, something that you can wash down.
Yeah.
Yeah, wash.
Garecca made multiple trips to the Forest of Dean to dispose of the body parts, where she intended to burn them all. So this is also how they were able to catch her on cameras. Because, like, think about it. You're not allowed to go anywhere. You're not allowed to do anything.
Yep.
You're like some mysterious, sketchy-ass person walking around with 2 suitcases.
Uh-huh.
During the height of a pandemic, like, where are you going? You're not supposed to be going anywhere.
Well, exactly. You're going to be the odd man out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Notes were also found in Garecca's room with plans on how to dispose of the body.
Why would you write that shit down as notes?
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself, Garecca.
She's kind of like messy.
She's kind
A
of
messy boots.
She's a dumbass.
Gherkins.
Why
Garecca.
would you write notes? Like,
I know. It's like, you know what?
It's called a paper trail.
Maybe if you have a bad memory, how about this? Maybe you should make sure that your memory is good enough for the time that you're doing this, because writing things down at this point in time is not a good idea.
No.
Garecca.
I mean, yeah. It's very sloppy, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sloppy gherkins.
So, like, Garecca went extra lengths to try and, like, make people believe that Phoenix was still alive. So she actually went on the internet and downloaded an audio application.
Oh, God.
Which enabled her to edit some voice messages of Phoenix to send to those via social media platforms and to a number of people, which she tried to confirm that Phoenix was well and that she was alive.
Oh, boy. Mm-hmm. Oh, shit. So she's getting a little silly-nilly.
She's getting, like, yeah. I mean, she's, like, making these, like, false voice memos, but then also, like, going on the same phone and looking up, like, how to fix a punctured lung.
Yeah. How do I do Ask Jeeves? Remember that?
Oh my
search
God,
engine?
I forgot
that.
about
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves.
Hey Jeeves, how do I fix a punctured lung in an hour? You don't. That's the answer.
So, in the aftermath of this horrific find, the police arrested and charged Garecca with her murder.
Yeah.
Wow. Gherkins.
So, a 38-year-old Manesh Saraithia was also initially accused of assisting an offender. He drove Garecca to the Forest of Dean, but insisted he did not know what she was doing. So it sounds like some hired driver that, like, literally was hired to drive this girl. He had no idea what she was doing.
Yeah.
The charge against him was later dismissed. Now, if you go on Tubi and you watch Caught on Camera, there is an episode where you actually get to see the live footage of when she gets pulled over with the suitcases.
Shit.
With the body parts.
With the body
in it.
parts.
Oh,
I
during the
tried-
pandemic.
I tried to pull it up on YouTube, but I couldn't find anything. But, like, go on Tubi, watch Caught on Camera. Yeah.
I will.
So, I mean, she gets very, like, defensive, like, trying to talk the police out of searching her suitcases.
She's like, so here's what happened.
Listen,
Silly
I
thing.
would too if
But
I
she
had.
was making it like it was like there were drugs or something in there. Like, oh, you don't need to go look at
Yeah.
that.
She was being extra suspicious, if you will.
She seemed very, very messy. So the West Midlands police took lead in the murder investigation. Forensics teams were said to have analyzed the scene for a week. concentrating on the bedroom and on the first floor of the property where Phoenix and Garecca lived.
Okay.
The crime scene investigators were also seen checking wheelie bins, a bicycle, and the back garden of the house. But exactly where Phoenix was murdered was never revealed.
Oh.
So, April 21st, 2021, so about a year later, just days before due to stand trial, Garecca admitted to murdering Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
She appeared before the Bristol Crown Court via video link for a short hearing, and the 28-year-old spoke only to confirm her identity and pled guilty. I believe she's expected to life in prison, and this is the thing that is very fascinating about this story. We don't know exactly the motive, and that's why I'm asking you what you think happened between the two. Because I just think this is a little extreme and a little excessive for somebody who denied sexual advances.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do.
for somebody to just go kind of off the deep end and dismember somebody and put them in suitcases all because she turned down some advances. I find it weird. I find like there's probably more to this story.
Yeah, there definitely is more to this story.
So they both met at the hostel.
Yes, in this home. Yes.
Okay, and
they lived in the same house. Now, remember I said at the beginning of the story that Phoenix was involved in drugs. Was it a drug-related issue? Was there something a little more?
I mean, I think that definitely could have been a part of it.
Where was the landlord in this situation?
Yeah, where was everybody?
I want to hear from the roommates.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's, oh my God. And because you add the pandemic on top of this, just makes it extra complicated, you know, because it's like, if somebody were leaving, would people have said anything? Would people, like, what would they have thought? I think everyone was probably kind of like scared, and not because of her, but just because of what was happening in the world. So I feel like most people were probably like, well, whatever this fucking person is doing is none of my goddamn business because I'm not leaving and I'm not getting COVID and dying.
Yeah.
You know?
The court heard that Garecca had a personality disorder after moving from London to Birmingham, but nobody in the health services had any idea of her history. Like, there were no records about her health history. But her mom did say that she suffered from traumas and did refer to her as a ticking time bomb.
Oh, well, that's comforting.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Very kind words.
Yeah.
Right? So kind of like a mother to say that about their child. But, like, there's just something about this story. I feel like there's a missing piece to this.
There is a missing piece.
I can't put my finger on.
So was what was her name?
Garecca.
Gherkins.
Okay, so number one, my first question is Garecca. What is her? Do we know what her full-on sexual orientation is? Is she a lesbian? Is she bisexual? Is she pansexual?
That was never stated. I mean, the only thing that I found was that she allegedly called that hotline saying that she was, you know, interested in another woman.
Okay, so
Yeah. So she was a lesbian, most likely.
I disagree. I think that
Hot take.
if she's calling a hotline, this is probably because this is new to her.
It could be. It could very well be new to her.
Uncomfortable. So maybe a suppressed feeling of being attracted to the same sex came up.
I didn't think about that, Mark.
And that's why she called.
That's a really good point.
That is.
Yeah. I think there was drugs also involved.
Oh, there had to be. I feel like there's no other way.
think
Like, there had to be something.
Yeah,
I think
some
potentially
influence.
My conspiracy theory is they potentially might have shared drugs occasionally during their time at the hostel. It could have been 1 or 2 nights in a row. During these interactions, I think she felt this attraction to her, hence why she called the hotline or the helpline. And what ended up happening, I think maybe in a drug-induced state, she made a pass or a move on her. It didn't go well, and then it resulted in a murder.
Yeah, and that kind of reminds me of the Jenny Jones murder scandal. Insert artwork here.
Oh my God. And it's Pride. It's Pride
And it's
Month.
Pride Month again. Wow.
Yeah.
Jen, you have a knack for this.
We're just gay as hell.
We are.
Podcast.
We are, absolutely.
So, but she's in prison right now.
Yes.
I'm surprised that she hasn't released any like statements.
It's so funny. Like,
Behind
there's
why.
really not a lot out there, and like all articles are like pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like when I went and cross-referenced things, like everything was like kind of the same. But I definitely feel like because this happened during the height of the pandemic, and they were in lockdown as we all were, like there could have been a moment where they confided in each other in something, or they had some sort of connection.
Yeah.
Because you're spending time with these people, even if you're not living in the same rooms, but you're still in the same like living corners.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
there has to have been some sort of like exchange or connection or confidence.
There was something.
But I think reading that it was all because of sexual advances, there's just something about that that's just not sitting well with me, and I can't put my finger on what that motive is.
I mean, going back to the Jenny Jones murder scandal thing, I think that there could have been like some sort of advance, and two of these people weren't necessarily comfortable in their sexuality.
Right.
And this was also a time where you couldn't really escape other people. Like, where were you going to go? So I think that, people or peoples, with some sort of maybe mental illness or deficiency, if you will, if you must, could kind of go off the rails, because it's like, this is something that is new that we're exploring, and there's nowhere to go, and if I need to escape this and I can't deal with it, I'm stuck here with you.
Right.
And then people make bad decisions is an understatement, but people sometimes make really irreparable decisions, like murder.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think
sounds
this
like a dumbass.
Yeah. Straight up dumbass.
She sounds dumb as hell.
Yeah.
Get a vibrator.
I think my
Make a porn.
favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
My favorite part was like, can someone recover from getting stabbed the same day?
Yeah, exactly. I've Googled the same thing, and I just recovered on my own.
What, do we know what, oh God, this is going to sound so controversial. Do we know what her ethnicity is?
She immigrated from Jamaica when she was very young.
Because I feel like in a lot of these, countries, like Jamaica or just everywhere, they're really,
It's a taboo,
anti-gay.
Yeah.
They're,
It's true.
You grew up in a culture where homosexuality, whatever you want to call it, is severely frowned upon. I mean, it's almost like illegal in a lot of places. So that can fuck with somebody.
Well, and it sounds to me like she was young, right?
They were both 28.
28, that's young.
That's young.
That's very young. And
Especially for unevolved.
well, it also, if what's her name? Garecca.
Gherkins, Garecca.
So Garecca, I'm gonna keep fucking
Garecca Gherkins.
It sounds to me like
that our YouTube followers are gonna have shit to say about that.
They always
Whatever.
do.
But Garecca, if she's staying in a hostel in England, it sounds to me like she's just traveling the world, and maybe this is her first experience out.
She was living in London. She lived in the UK. She moved there when she was young.
Oh, never mind.
I don't know what her exact story was, what made her move to Birmingham.
Yeah.
We know Phoenix she kind of fell off the deep end and dropped out of university, but she had aspirations of becoming, a paramedic.
Yeah.
But if you are interested in seeing the actual episode on Tubi, it's called Caught on Camera.
Oh.
There's 2 stories in the same episode, so it's this one and another one.
Okay.
It's not mentioned by Garecca. I think it's someone's name and Phoenix. So look for the name Phoenix. It's either episode 2 or 3.
I'm gonna look it up.
Go look it up. It's really interesting.
Wow, I can't wait. And that was a fantastic story.
Thanks.
Wow, I loved it. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to fund our hostel, you can start by going on patreon.com/bizarrebuffet.
You sure
You can
can.
visit our website that is overpaid for called bizarrebuffet.com. You can find us on Instagram at
sure
Bizarre
can.
Buffet. Facebook, our Facebook page still exists. It's at Bizarre Buffet Podcast.
Wait, we're back.
It never went away. There was some controversy. Jen just asked me that question because there was some controversy where we were like flagged and about to be deleted for some reason, but we weren't.
We're fine.
Yeah, we're still up, so
We're okay.
we're still standing, bitches.
We're here, motherfucker.
Suck it.
And
Yeah.
if you're watching us, you can listen to our podcast on any podcast platform.
Hi.
Hello. And if
If you're listening on your car speakers, I want you to hear me right now.
And go,
oh, I'm gonna sit on that speaker.
I'm gonna sit on.
It's like in that Howard Stern movie.
Yeah, Private Parts.
Private Parts.
Such a good film.
yes, that is a good film.
If you listen to us, you can actually watch us on YouTube at Bizarre Buffet.
Which means you should have subscribed by now.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose with that being said, my name is Salma Hayek.
And I am the circular saw purchased on Gumtree.
Oh my God, what a great thing.
And I'm the suitcase that held all the body parts.
Beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Don't dismember me.